Hi everyone, welcome back. I am getting ready to meet my supervisors at the university, and then I think I'm gonna stay in the office afterwards. I'm gonna do a quick makeup, and I was thinking like, in the meantime, I can also chat with you what's going on lately. Last week was actually my birthday week. I did a bunch of different activities. Since you're having a birthday, why not just have it for a week? So I went to karaoke with my friends together and we had cake there. That was a day before my birthday. On the actual birthday, I didn't really do anything special. It's just like a quiet time, regular day for me. I went to Pilates, I went to the market, and I bought a bunch of flowers for myself. It's a normal day, but it's still special for me since I bought a flower. And I was really joyful on that day too. And then afterwards, and something happened on Friday, which I'm not gonna tell you right now, but I will tell you later. So after that thing happened, I felt a little bit sad. So I decided to stop thinking about it and did something more like a distraction for me. So on Friday night, I have dinner as usual, and I also spend time painting my nails. I just finished painting my nails. I mean, I never thought myself would enjoy doing this, but now I just find that like getting nails done is actually a way of meditation for me. It's actually quite relaxing, you know. I can half concentrating on this like little movement of using the brush to paint my nails and also watching some of the content without being rushed to do anything. I never have something that is so glittering before. I like it. The next day, since it was the continued birthday week, I went to try Omakase for the first time. Omakase literally means I leave it up to you. It's a sushi dining experience where you can see the chef prepare food in front of you. I have heard of it for a long time but never tried it before because in my impression, sushi is cold and full of rice that might give me bloating. But I turned out to like omakase because it tastes so much different from the ones that I try on the sushi chain. The sushi there was fresh and warm and exquisite, almost like an artwork. Tastes different. I never had something like that before. Sunny nice day in Paris. Karaoke and omakase were not the only fun activities during the week. I also tried making ceramic pieces in a wheel-throwing beginner class with my friends. It has been one of my childhood dreams, but somehow I never done that before. Has anyone tried this?
Right out, so that's by putting your thumb in there, bringing it towards your hand.
I thought it wouldn't be too hard, but when I get hands-on, I felt a bit clumsy and I wasn't sure where to place my fingers. I was also afraid of ruining it or making a mess.
I really don't know. It's a hard shape. Look.
I don't know what to do now.
Excellent.
But this thing is still...
Yeah, no, it's great. I love it. It's a bit floppy, but I like that, you know. It's good. Don't touch it anymore.
Well, surprise, surprise. I was supposed to make a bowl, but I guess I just need to let go of my inner critic and embrace this imperfect but characteristic artwork.
Second try. This is my second try.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I ended my weekend, my long weekend. Today is the first day in the week that I'm coming back to work. I'm not sure how I feel, but you know, you gotta get started anyway. So today, for meeting my supervisors, we're gonna talk about a recent draft that I put together. It's not a complete draft, it's like a work in progress, but I want to see their feedbacks on it. We're gonna talk about that, and I'm gonna talk about the things that happened to me on Friday. Okay, now I'm telling you what's happening. When you're in like your senior year in a PhD, you start to have some output from your research, right? So I have this like article that I wrote. It's like a book chapter. I just got this chance to get some feedback from a scholar who is really well known in this field. And then lots of my work is actually built on their work. Really well-known scholar, and I really appreciate it. They spend the time reading my work and also gave me the feedback. So I received that feedback on Friday, and then it was a really long email. On Friday, I was still in the office, and I was sitting there, and everything was fine, and I was like working on my paper at that time, and I suddenly received this email, and I was like, oh, I got some feedbacks from my book chapter, so I gotta check that. So I just stopped everything that I was working on at a time and start to read the email. At first I was so surprised to see that email was super long. I was really appreciated for all this like helpful and constructive feedbacks. You know, at first I felt okay, and I was so curious to see like the kind of feedback that they gave me. And then in the middle of reading that email, I just like suddenly started to doubt myself, like why I didn't wrote this, because that scholar, they pointed out lots of things that I didn't really answer. I didn't really write that clearly. They have lots of questions they're asking me, and lots of like sentence ended with question mark. I was looking at all these sentences with question marks, and I started to doubt myself. I started to doubt my research too. So I thought that book chapter was almost done, but then on that day, by reading those feedback, and I felt like why there's so much things to do, so much to improve, and I just feel like it's not really hopeless, but I felt really doubtful, and I start to think that why I have done such a shitty work, and I even sent to that scholar to ask for feedback. You know, I just feel like my self-confidence is really being destroyed by this whole PhD process. Even though I know that imposter syndrome is a thing, but I just can't help feeling I'm probably just a mediocre person doing some mediocre research. So in the middle of reading that email, I start to doubt myself, and I start to cry. My tears started to drop on the table. So that kind of feeling, it's like you just learn how to swim in the swimming pool, but then you are suddenly being thrown into the ocean, and people ask you to get used to this kind of ocean environment with the winds, with the waves. And then you start to panic, and you start to feel hopeless, and you question yourself if your swimming skill, which you just acquired, if that is really useful or not. That's how I felt. I'm not drowning, but it's mostly like drowning. So yeah, I felt really frustrated, and I decided to put it on the side, ignore it for the weekend, and deal with it the coming week, which is today. Ever since Friday, I read that email and I felt sad. I wanted to put it aside to deal with it after a few days, because I know that on that day, if I deal with it, I will be too emotional to handle it. Like after a few days, if I'm not that emotional, I can use my rational brain can take control of me so that I can deal with it in a more peaceful way. Meanwhile, since I'm meeting my supervisor, so I'm gonna tell them about this and gonna see how they're gonna comment on this. It was supposed to be like a happy birthday week, so lots of activities are already planned in ahead of time, but I also don't want these kind of emotional feelings or frustrated feelings coming from research to ruin everything. So I literally try to shut down that part of my brain and to fully participating in the fun activities that I booked ahead of time. Walk of no shame. Okay. That's the finishing look. Today is really hot. I'm getting sweaty just by sitting here and talking to you. Anyhow, let's go! I just come back. I was supposed to stay in the office, but then I noticed that it looks like it's gonna rain outside. I didn't bring an umbrella, so I thought I might as well just walk with my friend to the train stop and then come back home. That's why I'm back. My supervisor said today they made me rest assured. They say that the constructive feedback that I received is not to discourage me, but it's more, like challenge my thinking. That's why I can think about something differently. But yeah, I think I felt better after hearing their thoughts. Now it's just like think about how I can address all those comments in my thesis, not just on this article. That's basically what's happening today in the meeting. I think maybe it's just like a common process for people who have imposter syndrome, but just keep in mind that no matter what, you have to believe in yourself, you have to believe in your research, and then you have to keep reminding yourself that you are fabulous. Fabulous! I'm gonna wash some strawberries and then make a matcha drink for myself and then get back to work. So sour. As I'm doing this voiceover, it's been a few weeks since I filmed the footage in this video. Apologies for not updating that much, but I actually got a chance to talk to that scholar over Zoom and realized that they're the type who will give you lots of feedback if they like your work. So I guess I just let my self-critique overdrive everything. I don't think I'm a professionalist, but I do have an inner monologue from time to time. Part of me feeling that I'm doing just fine, and part of me keeps doubting everything. Do you also have this feeling? Anyhow, I want to end this video by saying that we all should prioritize self-care, not just doing activities that bring you joy, but being kind to yourself and remembering that there's a reason why you're doing what you're doing. Alright, that's all for today. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!